Alright, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy back again with another video, man. Today we're going to be doing a music fucking review, man. It's been a while since I did this, especially for a different amount of artists like this, but I promise to you I'm getting back to the motherfucking basics, man. Before I start, make sure you know what I'm saying, you subscribe to the channel, man. Turn your motherfucking notifications on so y'all can understand what's happening out here, man, because I don't want y'all to get left behind. Alright, so the first project that we're going to be getting into is going to be The Great by Mula. I was actually really surprised with this project, man. I can't lie. Going into it, I was looking at the cover art and I didn't really think too much of it, just because I told y'all if the cover art really doesn't feel like some real artistic shit to me, it's not gonna immediately hit me that this person really might be talented. I probably should get out of that bias, but like I just feel like as a really talented artist, that's gonna matter. But I was really surprised with this project, man. First and foremost, the first song was called Surprise, which is very confusing because it's spelled wrong. And that's not no like this. I don't know, it might be on purpose, but it's spelled wrong. You're missing an R. But regardless, you know what I'm saying? I think that I felt like we shouldn't have started with this song. Honestly, I probably would have took this song off. If you would have had The Great as the intro to this, I feel like that would have kicked the project off so fucking way much better than Surprise. But The Great was a great follow-up track. I think there was a lot of songs on here that I really fucked with, actually. The Great was phenomenal. I feel like throughout the entirety of the project, you kind of showed your range as an artist. Whether it be you doing your own little vocal thing, you know, obviously being assisted a little bit with auto-tune, or you doing like drill shit, like rap shit, or you doing club shit, like island shit. I feel like I got a bit of everything on here, which is why for me, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I want the numbers to reflect that, you know what I'm saying? So when I'm looking at the project, I think immediately off top, I think The Great was a good song. I think Journal had so much potential. I feel like I think the singing could use a little bit more work as far as the auto-tune goes, but like outside of that, I think that the subject matter and the chorus is really hard. I actually find myself listening to this song more often than not, just because I think that the subject matter of the entirety of this project, I feel, is something that's dope as well. So I really fucked with Journal probably the most. That's probably my favorite off of the project. So Little Rock, I feel like that showed your range. I feel like a lot of it showed your range just throughout the entirety of the project, but I felt like that showed the level of difference between subject matters. But I feel like throughout the entirety of the project, the more you listen to it, I think from the first to the second song to the third song, you can literally hear how different the pen is. And I think that a lot of artists lack that ability to be able to do that. And I think that you strive in melodies, and I think that a lot of artists don't strive in that as well. It's easy to make melodic songs, but it's different to do that in different fields. And I feel like I've seen that throughout the entirety of the project, just being able to do that. So Little Rock was a cool song. I think Affection is probably going to be one of those songs that you could take to the top. I seen that it had 40,000 plays. I think personally that it could have a lot more than that, just because of the vibe that it's giving off, the time of the year that we're in. I don't know if you have a video to that or not, but you should definitely look into doing more of that, just because I feel like it has that ability to do that. 5 AM was a cool song. I think Kaya Blaze really went crazy on there. That was a dope song as well. Make It Large is probably another one of the songs that I really didn't fuck with like that, even though Buck went crazy on that last verse. But outside of that, I didn't really feel the song in the entirety. So that Surprise and probably the outro, The One, were ones that I didn't really fuck with like that. I think if you left the project off with King and Sneakers, I think that would have been a great ending. So to me, start with The Great, end with King and Sneakers. Take out Surprise, Make It Large, and The One, and I think that this is a super solid project. But yeah, that's kind of my overall review on it. I really didn't have too many more issues as far as like mixing goes. I think the mixing on this project for the most part was pretty solid. But outside of that, I think that's all I have for that one. Really dope project, man. I'm definitely gonna be coming back to listening to that. The next project that we have is Numbers by Ayefelon. It's NUMB3RS. One of my big things about this project is that I feel like the vocals are really clear, but there's a lot of things that need to be fixed as far as maybe like the auto-tune mixing goes, just because I feel like it's clear. But I feel like there wasn't too many. It's a short EP. It's only 5 songs, but I feel like out of the 5, there's only 2 that I really fuck with for the most part, which was to me Hand Grenade. The feature was great, and I feel like the subject matter was great, and I feel like just the production, everything overall was really good. I feel like that's one of the ones that I'm probably gonna come back and listen to. But I think that the overall takeaway from a lot of the projects that I've listened to thus far from you is that when I listen to your projects, I think that that you strive more in uplifting music versus just any kind of music. I think that, so from what I've seen, when I listen to your music, when I listen to the uplifting shit, I think that it has a bigger impact as far as the sound goes. I think that you do better in that field, and you make music that's more enjoyable when you're in that lane. Because when I listen to Summer Bummer, I feel good. It feels good. When I listen to Hand Grenade, it feels good. Like, it feels nice listening to those beats. So that's kind of just like my my takeaway from the project when I listen to it. But kind of just going into to some of the, like, my things that from the project that I noticed is on Homecoming. Like, I think it's like in the beginning, it's like a devil voice pops up somewhere, and like it's so abrupt, and it's like it outpitches everything, and it might even, like, if you look at the stems on it, it might even have like that little flaring in the red. If it's in the red, you don't want that, so you might want to pitch that down a little bit, just because that shit was a little hard on the ears. Outside of that, I think on No Life, the auto-tune on there definitely needs some more work. I think that it would really be cool also if, like, throughout the project, when you rap, you can almost like feel the lack of energy as far as like the voice goes on some of the tracks. Like, it's real monotone, and you don't want that. You want someone to feel your energy, because at the end of the day, there's plenty of examples to this. But like, for example, with Kendrick on his song You, I can feel his energy. I can feel like what he's saying. It makes me feel what he's saying even more. It makes a verse better that I can feel what he's saying. So what I'm saying to you is that on your tracks, when you're kind of just rapping into the mic, like, yo, on my ones and twos, it doesn't translate well to like the ears. It doesn't sound good. So I just think that maybe work on the energy that you give within the songs. And that was probably one of my bigger takeaways from that as well. And I think until I go, I think that we can go harder than that for sure. And I don't mean that, obviously I don't mean that with no disrespect. I think that just literally speaking to an artist that I fuck with heavily, I think that we can go harder until I go. I think the verse could be a lot better, but I think Hand Grenade and Summer Bummer are 2 of the standouts on this EP. Alright, so with that being said, I'm going to get into the singles. There was 5 singles on here. We had well, the first one is If I Made It by J-Dub. So pretty much the only thing my only takeaway from this is, because I think it's a pretty solid track, it kind of has like a Von Durkish feel to it. I just think that the vocals need to be maybe dirtied up some. I feel like they sound a little bit too clean, if that makes sense. I don't know if you ever heard that before, but it sounds a little too clean for me. And not only that, but I feel like the beat is like really low. I think that you might have been trying to make sure that you can hear the vocals as well, but I think that if you deplete the beat too much, it makes it hard to hear just in total. And I think that that's probably one of the biggest things that was hard for me to deal with, is that I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, kind of like struggle to hear the beat almost, because I can hear you perfectly fine, but I want to make sure the beat is getting its just due as well, because, you know, these producers be working hard on these beats, and that's facts. Outside of that though, I think that it was a pretty solid song. Next up we had Mangu by Echo. I think that this song is hard, right? I think that it's dope. The only thing is, to me, and I'm probably nitpicking at some of this shit, because honestly it's all subjective, I think that like maybe switch the cadence a little bit. I mean, throughout the majority of the song, it was more so like you know, you kind of giving the same flow, the same cadence. So for me, it's like if you have a song like that, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, it might be a little dope to get into a different bag, you know what I'm saying. I'm never gonna say anything about the subject matter, because I think me and you both know that your subject matter has never had an issue, you know what I'm saying. I think that Echo is, and this is me talking to you guys personally, I think that Echo is probably one of the most brilliant minds when it comes to this shit, just because there's no repetitiveness to his music. There's no, you can say I've heard this verse before. That's not the case, you know what I'm saying? I think that this is one of those things that he's one of those people that when you hear his music, different things might resonate with you, but he's never going to be talking about the same thing. And if he does, it's about stories that I feel like different perspective, different ways to feel about it. So I definitely think that Echo is a super talented artist, and you should definitely give him a chance. And if you haven't, you should definitely go listen to that single, because he's definitely dope. The next song that I would say to definitely give a chance to is Then I by Dom the Destroyer and featuring Dettermeine. I think that this song is a pretty solid song for the most part. I think that that one thing I'm grateful for is that you didn't do the Thin Eye thing through the entirety of the song, because I've seen people do that and it's super fucking annoying. I think that it's cool that you're able to kind of switch it up a little bit as well. But outside of that, I think that it was a pretty solid song. There wasn't anything crazy about it or super standoutish about it. The next song that I have up is Fall Through. Now this song by Kim, Joke, and Taco. It's a really funny way to spell taco. I think that this is a really fucking dope song. I think that I don't know if the vocals were cut up or there's so many like mixing like things that I would fix in here that it's wild, because it's like, to me, when I listen to the song, it's a dope song, but the mixing is like, when you start out like the beginning of the song, you can legit hear like some of the mixing issues just off bat. Like before you even start rapping, you can hear the mixing issues in it. So I definitely think that needs work. You can hear the fuzzy noises that's being made, and I think that gets accredited to when something's getting played way too loud. And I don't know if that's the vocals or the beat, but whenever you start hearing the fuzzy noise in the music, that's because something is peaking. It's peaking. It's going way too high. The second verse sounds way better to me personally. But outside of that, I think the beat is dumb hard. I think that the beat is probably one of the hardest things about that song. Obviously, me not saying that the verses aren't hard, but I just think that the mixing takes away from it. And I think if we can nail that shit down, I think that you actually got a really solid song on you, bro. Because I feel like some real, we fresh out the quarantine type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, we back, we here type shit. And I think that the world kind of needs music like that, just to kind of, you know what I'm saying, reopen things back up. If it's time to open things up, I don't know. Alright, so, and the last song that I have is my fucking guy, Dskillz Harris, Strictly Business. This is off of Skills Mega 2, man. Alright, so I feel like the mixing is definitely good. The beat is, tough as always. I don't really feel like I've ever listened to a beat by you that you rapped on that was like bad or subpar or no shit like that. So that's kind of one of my things. I think the first verse is probably my favorite verse off of it. But I think that when I listen to this song, it's a cool song. I definitely think it's a solid track. I don't think that it's super standoutish, but I definitely think that it's a cool song to go on a project. And that kind of wraps up all of the songs that I have to go over and all the projects that I have to go over. Just real quick reminder, make sure you like, comment, sub to the channel, man, if you haven't already. Also, if you're an artist and you want to work with other artists, make sure to hit me up on Twitter or Instagram, because, you know what I'm saying, we got a big ass Discord going on with a bunch of artists who are all trying to work together. Also, update. So if you watched the last video, I think all up to the end, I told you guys that we're looking for one more artist for a tournament that I'm doing. It's closed. We don't need no more artists, but stay tuned, because I am working on something that's incredibly dope, and I'm gonna need everybody to come out and support other rappers. We're really about to have shit shaking up out here, man, and I think that's gonna be a fun experience for everybody. So with that being said, love and peace, man.
They told me don't need to hide. Seeing is believing. I'm a dreamer of what I wanna be. They told me don't need